Do you know 4 words that destroyed one of the most remarkable careers in NFL history? This is Ricky Watters, a running back who dominated the NFL for an entire decade, never missing a beat from year 1 to year 10. And yet, most people have never heard of him.
On second down, Warner throws it. Pass is caught. That's Doucette, his second of the day.
He's not in the Hall of Fame. He barely gets mentioned in greatest running back conversations. And it all comes down to 4 words. Richard James Watters, Ricky for short, grew up in Pennsylvania as an adopted kid who found his identity on the football field. By his senior year at Bishop McDevitt High School, he was unstoppable. 2 all-state selections. Every major program wanted him. But when Notre Dame's legendary coach Lou Holtz showed up at his doorstep and called him the finest tailback in the nation, the decision was made. Ricky Watters was going to play for the Fighting Irish. Watters joined Notre Dame in 1987, expecting to be the guy, the lead back, the star. Instead, he spent his entire freshman season frustrated, stuck on the sideline while Mark Green got the carries. In the season opener against Michigan, Watters was going up and down the sideline, complaining so much that Coach Holtz put him in, just to teach him a lesson.
When you look at Ricky Watters as a person, you say, man, you should buy a ticket to get in there.
Yeah, I need the ball.
On his 3rd touch of the game, Watters took it 18 yards to the house. Message delivered. But Holtz wasn't convinced. Sophomore year, moved to flanker. Junior year, back to running back, but sharing carries with Tony Rice. Senior year, still not the lead rusher. Now, Notre Dame won a national championship during Watters' time there. They were dominant, but Watters never led the team in rushing in any season. Not once. And he later admitted he felt Holtz never pushed him to be as good as he could be, because Watters didn't fit the Notre Dame image of a football player. So he entered the 1991 NFL draft with incredible talent, but a troubling reputation. Selfish, cocky, emotional. Some even called him a bust before he ever played a professional snap. The San Francisco 49ers took him in the 2nd round. And what happened next? Pure chaos. The 49ers were coming off their 4th Super Bowl win. They just moved on from dual-threat legend Roger Craig, and Watters was supposed to be the perfect replacement. The guy who'd keep their dynasty alive. Week 1 of training camp, broken foot. He works his way back by week 5, then breaks his hand. His entire rookie season, gone. Never played a single snap. His teammates were already calling him a bust. His supreme confidence didn't help. He isolated himself, put on 20 extra pounds. The future looked bleak. 1992, year 2. Watters exploded onto the scene. 1,013 rushing yards, 11 total touchdowns. Led the 49ers in yards from scrimmage. Pro Bowl selection. Running behind fullback Tom Rathman, Watters showed exactly why the 49ers drafted him. Week 13 against the Rams, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was dominant. The Niners rolled to a 14-2 record, made it to the NFC Championship, and lost to Dallas. But Watters had arrived. 1993, another 1,300 yards from scrimmage, 10 rushing touchdowns, 2nd Pro Bowl. Then came the 1993 playoffs, divisional round. The New York Giants, the league's #1 defense. They'd allowed just 7 rushing touchdowns all year. Watters scored 5 rushing touchdowns, 5 in 1 game. A divisional round record that still stands. 164 total yards. The 49ers won 44-3. It was one of the greatest playoff performances in NFL history. The Eagles made the playoffs, destroyed Detroit 58-37 in the wild card. Watters had 113 total yards and a touchdown. They lost to Dallas in the divisional round, but Watters had silenced many doubters. And then came 1996, his best season. Career-high 337 rushing attempts, 1,411 rushing yards, 13 rushing touchdowns. He led the NFL in yards from scrimmage with over 1,800 total yards. Week 3, 153 yards and a touchdown against Detroit. Week 8, career-high 173 yards against Miami. He had 7 100-yard rushing games that season. 5th straight Pro Bowl, top 5 in rushing yards, top 5 in rushing touchdowns. The Eagles made the playoffs again at 10-6, but lost to his former team, the 49ers, in the wild card. Waters was held to just 57 yards. 1997 was a regression year. The Eagles' quarterback situation was a mess. 3 different quarterbacks started games. But Waters still rushed for 1,110 yards and 7 touchdowns. Still had 48 catches. Still put up over 1,500 yards from scrimmage. The Eagles finished 6-9-1 and missed the playoffs. Waters' contract was up. And despite everything he'd done in Philly, he was moving on again. 1998. The Seattle Seahawks signed Waters to a 4-year, $13 million deal. At 29 years old, most running backs are starting their decline, not Waters. Year 1 in Seattle, 1,239 rushing yards, 9 touchdowns, 52 catches for 373 yards, 4th straight 1,000-yard rushing season. Week 16 against Indianapolis, career-high 178 rushing yards on 30 carries, plus a touchdown and 38 receiving yards. At 29, he was still getting better. 1999, another 1,200-yard season, 1,210 yards on the ground, 40 catches. The Seahawks made the playoffs. They lost to Miami in the wild card, but Waters had now rushed for 1,000 yards in 6 straight seasons. Only 13 players in NFL history had accomplished that at the time. Then came 2000. The Seahawks used their first-round pick on Alabama, running back Shaun Alexander. The writing was on the wall. Waters' replacement was here. But Waters wasn't done. At 31 years old, he put together his most efficient rushing season in years. 1,242 rushing yards on just 278 carries, 4.5 yards per attempt, his best average in 6 years. And then he tied his career high with 613 receiving yards on 63 catches. He finished top 5 in the league in yards from scrimmage. Week 14 against Atlanta, he became the 13th player in NFL history to rush for 10,000 career yards. At an age where most backs are washed, Waters was still elite, still producing, still proving everyone wrong. And then 2001 happened. Week 3, Waters suffered a shoulder injury. He could have had surgery and returned in 4 weeks, but he chose to let it heal naturally, doubling the recovery time. He missed 8 games. His 116-game consecutive start streak, second longest for a running back in NFL history behind Walter Payton, was over. He returned Week 13, then Week 14 against Dallas. He rushed for 104 yards and a touchdown, looking like his old self. The next day, it was announced his season was over. Broken ankle. Just like that, after 10 years of durability, Waters' body finally gave out. Seattle didn't re-sign him. Other teams showed interest, but only at veteran minimum. Waters sat out 2002, hoping for a better offer. It never came. In 2003, Ricky Waters retired from the NFL. Let's talk numbers, because Ricky Waters' career is staggering. 10,643 rushing yards, 4,248 receiving yards, 14,891 yards from scrimmage, 91 total touchdowns, 5 Pro Bowl selections, 1 Super Bowl championship, 6 straight 1,000-yard rushing seasons. He averaged over 1,500 yards from scrimmage per season for an entire decade. From year 1 to year 10, he was elite, consistent, dominant. He owns a playoff record that still stands 30 years later. He had a Super Bowl performance worthy of MVP. He proved he could produce in any system. San Francisco's high-powered offense, Philadelphia's evolving scheme, Seattle's run-first approach, and yet, he's not in the Hall of Fame. Why? Because of 4 words. For who? For what? Because he was outspoken. Because he demanded the ball. Because he didn't fit the mold of what people wanted a running back to be. That was Ricky Waters in the 90s. He was doing it before it was cool. Today, Waters focuses on mentoring young athletes through his Impact Wellness Company, offering holistic health and pain management options. He found his purpose after football, but his NFL career deserves more recognition. He wasn't perfect. He could be emotional. He said things he probably shouldn't have. But at the end of the day, Ricky Waters was a 5-time Pro Bowler, a Super Bowl champion, one of the most complete running backs of his generation. He dominated for 3 different franchises across an entire decade and left the game with numbers that speak for themselves. If he played today, in an era that values dual threat backs, he'd be a superstar, no question. But history has been unkind to Ricky Waters. And maybe it's time we change that narrative. And yeah, he said 4 words that people won't let go. But are 4 words really enough to overshadow a decade of dominance? Maybe it's not about whether Ricky Waters fits the traditional Hall of Fame mold. Maybe it's about recognizing greatness when we see it, even if it comes with an edge. Because one thing is certain, no matter how many times you gave him the ball, it would never be enough for Ricky Waters. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Kicker Throne. Respect the grind and respect the players who gave it their all. See you next time.